Hello, Wijsnoot, kan je net? No.
Hey, and welcome to a Thursday Collection Connection, where I'm feeling like crap, which sounds like an excuse not to talk about records, but I know that at least upwards of half a dozen people are mildly interested in my next pick, so by God, we're going to move this train forward and play the game. It's a game I play with my brother, Plastic Eric, from the Plastic Soundwave Cult, and I play every Thursday, he plays every Monday, and you can keep up with us by subscribing to both channels. I'm trying to do this without going into a coughing fit. Eric picked Together for the First Time live from B.B. King and Bobby Blue Bland, um, which is well outside my wheelhouse, but it was kind of a cool, fun record. It sounded like a club atmosphere, which makes, I guess, a degree of sense. My understanding is part of the reason they were touring together is because times were tough for old bluesmen. Um, and so it's very casual banter. It's almost surprising that they chose to record it because it's just so casual. But yeah, it was an enjoyable listen. Um, as far as a connection, I thought that maybe I would take you on the journey of how I ended up at my connection, just to do something a little different. My first thought with the B.B. King and Bobby Blue Bland would be I thought, okay, well, what about another kind of one-off team up? And my mind immediately went to St. Vincent, David Byrne. What's the album called? Love This Giant. I thought that would have been a cool one, but just a little bit of research on the B.B. King album showed that within a couple of years they put out a second album, so it wasn't a one-off. They have Together Again live. So that was kind of a bust. And my next thought was that three of the songs, somewhat unsurprisingly, because they're blues artists, ended in the word blues or contained the word blues. And I wondered if I had any albums that had three songs with blues in them, which I didn't. The closest I got, but again, I thought maybe I would do this, is Almost Blue from Elvis Costello and his Trusty Attractions, which in this specific reissue from Rhino has one of the songs on the bonus tracks, of which there's a plethora. There's 27 bonus tracks, so but it's in there somewhere. Blues Keep Calling, yep. And then there's Color of the Blues and Brown to Blue, which is not quite blues, but that was as close as I got. But then as I was looking at, again, the B.B. King and Bobby Bland album, when I was looking at it on Discogs, then it only seemed like it had two songs with blues in the title. And it took me a little while to work out that the opening track was called 3 o'clock in the morning, but on some issues it was called 3 o'clock blues. The master listing, I believe, on Discogs has it listed as 3 o'clock in the morning. So it took me a little while to work out that was the thing, but then maybe I thought, okay, well, maybe that will be my thing to focus on. A song that is titled differently depending on which pressing, which version of the album you had. Do I have anything like that? It was unclear to me how it became. It was a song written by B.B. King. There's a lot of covers on that album, but 3 O'Clock Blues was a B.B. King song that he first recorded under the name 3 O'Clock Blues. And somebody at some point had done a cover of it and they titled it 3 O'Clock in the Morning. And other versions of it were called other things, like the 3 O'Clock in the Morning Blues or 3 a.m. But in any case, hold on, I gotta blow my nose. All right, we're back. I have to take a Kleenex break. I totally forget what I was saying before I had to go clear snot bubbles off my face. Yeah, I was looking for songs with different titles depending on which pressing they had, which was not the easiest thing to do. Some things have changed over time. I almost thought I had one with I'm Your Captain, which I had actually just received from Eric as a gift from Grand Funk Railroad, that I think got closer to home, kind of in parentheses or vice versa. It's kind of made it clearer a little bit what song it was, but they weren't on the same version of the album. It was on a best of. But eventually I remembered a song that, due to pressure from the label to change the title of the song, they did. So the original pressings had the original title, and then for a long time they had a modified title. And recently they have reclaimed the title, and that is the Lemonheads' It's a Shame About Ray, from 1992. Now this I just picked up this year. In a trip to New York, I was checking out record shops in New York, and I got it more just to not go home empty-handed than being a necessarily diehard fan of it. But I do have the original, and I don't know if this will work at all. So in this one, the song track 5 is called Buddy, but the original title of the song, bring it on back, camera, there we go, is My Drug Buddy. They didn't have to change the song or any aspects of the song, but they did shorten the title to cut the word drug out. I slept poorly last night, and so I think I'm going to leave it at that. But it's a good album. Evan Dando. It's the only Lemonheads album that I have. Now I have it twice. And it's got some great tracks. Rock and Stroll. The title track, It's a Shame About Ray, is good. But the connection, again, is songs that had different titles printed depending on which pressing or version of the album you had. Either 3 O'Clock in the Morning or 3 O'Clock Blues on the B.B. King and Bobby Bland album, and Buddy or My Drug Buddy on the Lemonheads album. So I'll throw that over to Eric. Look for his response on Monday. I'm going to go lay down. Cheers. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.